All right, we're gonna go into. We got Bruce Gregori from Hartford, Connecticut area. Great soloist, great musician, great artist, and we got him calling in a couple minutes. So I'm gonna start off with one of his songs, "No Fair." We got Bruce Gregori. I believe we got him on the phone. What's up there, Paisan?
Hey man, what's happening?
What's going on, man? How, how's
Oh
how's the world up there in my old hometown, man? What's going
man,
on?
it was like the Arctic a couple of weeks ago, man. But it's finally kind of coming to spring and summer, so we can take off the pants and put on the shorts,
Yeah, I love it. My little brother sends me pictures of him out there shoveling all that snow, and yeah. And, hey, buddy, maybe get smart and be like me and move to Florida. He wants to do that. So what's going on, Bruce? Great to have you on the show, man. We've been playing your music for a couple weeks here. Trying to get your music. I love my Hartford, Connecticut area, man. My peeps up there. New York, New Haven, Mass, Rhode Island, Long Island. I've got family and peeps all over that area. So anything I can do, PhD radio show can do to help expose some music out there is what we love to do.
Yeah, man. I mean, totally. We appreciate it immensely. I mean, you guys have been playing, my tunes for the last couple of weeks, and the collection of all those tunes actually just hit iTunes yesterday. The CD's called Burn Sound Under Beyond the Ground, and that just hit iTunes. It's on CD Baby. You can get it off my website, that kind of thing. But we totally appreciate all the support you guys have thrown us.
Yeah, well, and you guys are PhD. You've been doing everything. You and Molly, you got a great AR there, management company. She's
Yeah,
hitting me up every other day with some new music. Get this out, Okay, great, man.
yeah.
That's
It's good to have Molly. She's part pit bull, part mountain lion. She
that
just keeps coming and coming and coming.
that's beautiful,
And
man.
and,
You
and
you
that's
got
what you need in this business, man.
you need that. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm same here. What I do. I got a fine line between persistent and pain in the ass, and I push it right to that line, dude. So that's great. So what's going on? You got I see you guys you play out quite a bit, bro. I see you
Yeah,
you're posting every day, every other day, new place that you play out. So you're hitting it hard on in the area.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
We're pretty much all over, and I play big places. Last night I was just at Theodore's blues and barbecues. I'm sure you know the area if you've been up here, and great sounding room. It was just always a crowd from all over the country that kind of come into the city, and then we go all over to little small places, and at the end of this month we'll be at the Hard Rock Cafe down at Foxwoods, and then Art
Beautiful.
Street Tavern in Hartford. So
Oh yeah.
it's kind of it runs the gamut, in terms of it is, but it's right now clocking in at about anywhere between 290 and 310 shows a year.
That's poor, hungry, and determined in my book right there, man. All right, so
Yeah.
what are you're doing? Just soloist right now. What's the future? You teaming up with? You got some other musicians, maybe? Because I had heard or I got a message that you might have some band tracks coming up soon.
Right. So we had that CD that just was released yesterday. There's actually another CD that's been in the works for about 9 months that all the tracks are done, and that's a full band CD with vocals. It's progressive, and then we'll probably be putting together shows in support of that CD. Right now, most of the shows are solo, but they're really kind of it's an acoustic performance, but it definitely is progressive, and it's not at all what you might characterize as acoustic, and but once that new CD's out, the plan is to kind of take that and everything I do is basically modular. So put a band behind it and take it out and show what we can do.
Yeah, because you know what? After listening to your music and I mean, doing the solo act, I'm sure you're doing great because I'm gonna, I hate to classify you, but you got that sound. Your guitar speaks for itself. I mean, without vocals, when I play the song, I mean, I'm definitely into great guitarists, and your guitar does speak. How's that? We can
Well,
tell
thanks,
you.
man. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
you're up there in, with the Satriani, the Stevie Vai. You know what
Right.
they've done it.
Yeah.
Just let their guitar speak for them, and
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
all my influences, that's kind of how I grew up listening to those guys. And, I mean, on those tracks that you guys are throwing down, I mean, that's kind of showcasing, what I can do in terms of guitar work. But I did all the instruments on theirs too. So, it was just kind of throwing down in the studio and messing around and saying, I'm just going to do something fun and, let me just blow it out kind of, rock style, really.
cool. What do you got? Your own studio at your home, or do you
Yeah,
collaborate with the
I do
studio?
everything.
Go ahead.
Bruce Gregori is kind of the band or the solo. I mean, it's a business, but there's a parent company that we created called G Music LLC. You might have seen things come through from that, and that's really it's basically a corporation, and that manages everything. But we're all independent, so everything is mine. That's the label, that's the whole, the studio. Everything's internal. I run everything from Camp Gregori, basically.
Cool. You guys do any mix and mastering for any other bands there, or you just on your own?
I have done that. Yeah, I have done that. I haven't in the recent past because it's just like between performance. I mean, I'm usually out 4 or 5 days a week playing live. Plus, if I have any session work or anything else that I got to do to throw down, it tends to be a pretty busy week. I mean, my hands are touching the strings anywhere between 40 and 60 hours a week, plus vocals and stuff like that. So it's definitely there's not a lot of rest time, and when there is, I'm usually just crashed in bed, man.
Well, that's why I said, yeah, we got to get you on the show quick. Yeah, I like I said, I see all your posts where you're playing every other day, every other night. You're somewhere, and that's great. Foxwoods, wow. Okay, now that's for people who don't know the area, but that's one of the places you want to play if you're up in the Northeast region, man. A lot of big bands, a lot of big artists go to Foxwoods. That's one of their stops. So that's
we'll be there May 30th, and that's at the Hard Rock. And then the Hard Rock, Molly's working on, once you get in that rec circuit, we're looking at Chicago, New York, Philadelphia. And then actually, you talked about going down there, from your show, we got a hit down in Miami. Someone wanted us to come down and do some performances on that show. I think she's working on something, so we may come into your zip code shortly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good venues on the way down. Yeah, I'm sure you're not going to travel just all the way to Miami for one show. So,
and I tell you what, and we've done. You talked with Molly personally. We've done kind of odd things like that. Believe me.
No, okay. Well, anything we can do. We do have a few contacts with a few different venues, and with enough advance notice, at least get you out there and maybe a possibility to get another show. Another payday on the way down. So definitely keep us in mind. And all right, so we started off with No Fear. You want to talk about that song at all?
Yeah, I mean, No Fear kind of sums it up in terms of the mindset that that what I do musically. It's like no fear. I mean, I many times I'll walk into a venue and it's kind of again what is progressive, and they may not view it as as fitting what's happening in the venue, but it's just basically doing the music I'm going to do no matter what. That song was recorded. I had a buddy of mine who wired up a little pedal that had 4 switches on it, and I used 4 or 5 different amps at the same time, and just had at it. And it's one track, one take. And that was it. Just went to town on it.
Gotcha. All right, what I got is coming up on the exit of this interview is Back. What's the story on Back?
Back is a song that there was a period of time where I took a short little break, didn't play much, and then felt that I needed to write a song to kind of show that I was back, and I could do this and play, So as anything else, you go through your ups and downs in terms of music, and I needed to kind of just get that out of my system, to feel like I was ready to go again.
Cool. All right, so let's do a little promo here. Of course, BruceGregori.com. You get that. That's probably your major website there. You can get all your tracks on there, or information to get to all your tracks, about your studio, all that.
Facebook.com/Bruce Gregori. You can buy music off that site. You can do it off the website. You got iTunes, so pretty much anywhere that sells online or stream music, you can get my stuff.
Cool. And so I assume that I'll be looking through my email in the near future for some new tracks with the band.
Absolutely.
Okay, because
Absolutely, man. Once those tracks are like, they get the stamp on them, they're yours, man. We'll send them right up to you.
All right, we'll put them right in rotation, man. You know that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, man. I show my Hartford peeps. I love I love where I'm here too. I show my Jackson Beach area, Jacksonville area peeps love, and but I don't forget about my northern paisans, where I grew up. So, yep.
Honestly, all the love you're showing us, man, we totally appreciate it. I really can't thank you enough.
No problem, Bruce. And we'll like I said, just because the interview's on doesn't mean we stop playing your music. We keep in rotation for you. So, all right, we're gonna go to back, and thanks again, man, for calling in, and proud to have you on the show, bud.
Hey, man, thank you. Appreciate it, and thanks to C Radio Show for having us on.
Okay, we'll be talking, bud. Take care.
All right, man. Be good.
I investigated reports of loss of hearing by individuals. I investigated reports of loss of hearing by individuals. I investigated reports of loss of hearing by individuals due to the high decibel level involved in playing rock and roll music. This is the rockometer.
Gee.
It is used to measure comparative rock and roll intensity levels. Watch the mouse while I turn it on.
I used to live on the wild side. All
I've
right.
seen you there.
All right, class. Shut up! Professor Jimmy Bell
Oh,
in
God,
the
I got to come
house.
down to Florida. I got to make my way to Florida to do this show right in the room with you. You're insane, man. I love it. This is great.
What's going on, Professor? Let me just get your volume up a little more, I think.
Yeah, bring it on up there.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a one hell of a morning, but first I start right off by thanking my sponsor, Jack Hammaker, man. Kick-ass Cables, the greatest cable in the world, greatest instrument cable, speaker cable, microphone cable. I mean, the guy does everything. He's amazing.
Hook
Bruce,
you-
I tell you, you know something? I got to tell you, I can't thank you enough for hooking me up with this guy too.
Hey, no problem, man.
He gets on the phone and talks with me. How many CEOs of their company will get on the phone and spend that much time with you? I mean, he literally stays on the phone with me and talks. I mean, but we don't just talk about, you know, stuff pertaining to cables and stuff. You know, we start talking about kids, and I mean, it's more like a friendship thing with this guy. You know, he's just amazing.
Oh yeah,
he really is. Well, he's a really amazing person. I can't thank you enough for it.
No problem, man.
I'm telling you right now, I've been using out. You know, the one I'm still. His other cables are coming to me this week, and but I've been using out the one that you had sent me originally, and it really makes a difference in the tone and everything in the guitar. I mean, I learn something every day still. I'm still learning. I've only been playing guitar for 150 years, but I'm still learning every day. I mean, I really, honest to God, I did not know that a cable
makes a difference.
Would make a difference in what, you know, I never thought about it. You know, I always think it's the guitar, the amp, the pickups, you know, it's something. And I just figured this chord that's in between the guitar and amp is just whatever chord you find will make the same thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It makes a huge difference.
Exactly.
And you know, but you know, of course I never thought of
that. That's too cool. No, it's my pleasure, man. Jack's a great guy.
Nah, Jack's the man.
Yep.
Jack's the man. I've actually got real Jimmy Bell guitar picks coming too. I told you, man. I'm actually those will be coming to me real soon. Thanks to Jack, and you know, I've been using the Jim Dunlap red gel picks forever. I mean, for the longest time now, and Jack's got a good connection with people, and he's making it all happen for me. And you know, this way, when I go on tour this time, you know, people will actually see my name on the pick instead of Jim Dunlap. It's funny, you know, because I swear I've given him a couple of people. I gave them a pick, and then they said, "This isn't your name." You know, it's like they actually noticed. I go, "No, but it's the pick I use." Mm-hmm. You know, so what's the difference? You know, it's kind of like
cool.
You think Jim Dunlap would want to split the thing? You know, put his name on one side, and then put the artist's name on the other side, and get you know, because you're advertising him at the same time, you know. But, you know.
He wasn't smart enough.
That's all right.
He wasn't smart enough, but Kick-Ass Cables was. I'm sure it's going to have Jimmy Bell on one side and Kick-Ass Cables on the other, probably.
Yeah, well, and that, actually, I'm gonna do a run like that with not. You see, the problem with the picks I use is that they're a clear pick. That's the reason they're called gels, and so you can see through it, so you can't put something on both sides of the pick.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's a one-sided thing. But I'm going to do another run of just some white heavies with Jack, and we're going to put Kick-Ass Cables on the back, Jimmy Bell on the front. We're going to make it a team. We're going to be a team here.
Yeah. And I love it. Yeah, you got him. You know, and I got to say, I love it too. That I did go to your website, jimmybell.net. And what did I see there? But our promo banner for you with the PhD radio show on mydxradio.com, front and center, man. So
that's right.
Thank you very much.
I got Jack Kick-Ass Cables is on there. PhD radio's on there.
God,
I'm man, I'm loving this.
Cool.
But
More to
So how
come.
was your morning? You want to hear my morning? Come on. Do you really want to hear this?
Go, yeah. Go ahead, man. If you want to talk about it, it's your show.
Yeah, man, it's insanity. I mean, I just don't, I don't want to bore people with health things, because people want to hear rock and roll and stuff like that. But I mean, if there's people listening, if you're a guy and you're out there listening right now, I'm telling you one thing: if you happen to be 40 or over, and you're hesitant about going to get a prostate exam, you better get your ass to the doctor and get this thing done, because the longer you wait on this, and if you end up getting the prostate cancer like I had, it's an ordeal, dude. I'm telling you right now, it's more of a nightmare now since I've had this operation. And if there's a way that you guys, if you're listening, get out there and nip this in the butt sooner, so you don't have to deal with this. You're going to be a lot happier. I mean, there's a lot of, for guys, the guys that are listening, there's a lot of, annoying side effects. I don't need to really tell you what it is, but, you being a guy, you must get what I'm talking about.
Yeah, sure.
There's some things that go on with this afterwards that take a while to come back and stuff, and you're going to lose your mind over it. You want to get yourself checked and get yourself, taken care of if possible. Now, my situation, I had this, and it runs in my family, and that's another thing. Anybody that's out there listening, if prostate cancer runs in your family, you definitely get your ass to the doctor and get this taken care of, because you need to get checked to see, because it runs in my family, and that's the reason that I ended up with it. And you got to get this looked at. And it's pretty dramatic, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. Now, I had my prostate out January 8th, so we're 4 months now. I'm getting better as time goes on. It takes a long time. It could take up to a year sometimes to get yourself fully functionable again. But now, here's my issue. Because of where the cancer was on my prostate, it was to the outside, they didn't get all the cancer off of me. Because they try to do nerve sparing, so you could actually, have your nerves down there and be able to function as a man still throughout your life. And so they do the nerve sparing, so they might leave a little bit of cancer. Just be careful how much they take. I mean, a little bit of the prostate, so they don't take everything. Well, mine was to the outside, some of the cancer. So now I went back for another PSA test. Of course, the level was a 4.04. I found out, which is better than a 4. I didn't realize it was below a 1.
Yeah.
Mine was 0.4, and then it went up to a 6. It didn't reach a 1 yet, but they want it to be a 0. You're not supposed to have anything, any level whatsoever once you have this operation. So mine's on the climb again.
Yep.
So that's an automatic set off that you've got some cancer in you still. So now I'm up against 38 treatments. And now check this out. My mom had lymphoma cancer just a little bit ago. My mom's huge, man. She's beaten breast cancer, lymphoma cancer. She's just like she's a ship. She's like an iron ship. Nothing takes this woman down. But she only, for her lymphoma cancer, only needed she had to have chemo and stuff like that. I don't need chemo, because chemo will make you lose your hair and stuff like that. I'm not going to lose my hair from radiation. But the thing is that she had only 17 treatments of radiation. But apparently, in the prostate area, down in your stomach area, above your groin, whatever, your pelvic area, it's harder to treat. It's tougher to get at it, or whatever. So you need to have more treatments of this. So I have to go for 38 treatments of radiation 5 days a week for about 7 weeks. And, I told him, I said, look, on the 26th, I have a video shoot coming. I'm going to be at this place all day. He says, okay, well, look, if we know this, you can miss one day. But if you start missing more than one, like saying you got to do this, do that, you're going to screw up. You're going to start messing up things. So I pretty much I'm going to have to go to St. Francis Hospital here in Hartford, Connecticut, every single day, 5 days a week. And I'm not there long. It's going to take about, it takes about 15 minutes or so to shoot you with it. But, it's still, it's a big ordeal, It's like, come on. And then after a while, they said certain symptoms set in. Like, well, you might, be starting to urinate a little more afterwards and be burning a little bit. And then he says you might get a little bit more gas. And, I go, my thing was I didn't want to lose my hair, and I don't want it to affect any more of my side effects from this thing. Those are my issues. A little bit of gas and being a little more. I've already I give two shits about that, But
that's a good outlook on it.
I mean, it's pretty. It's just an ordeal. I mean, Bruce. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Have you gone for an exam? How old are you now?
Yeah, I just turned 50, and I went through it at 41, 42. I was okay. Have I gone back? No, I haven't, Professor. I should, but the way I look at it is I made it this far in my life. I mean, I lived a pretty crazy life, and
well, wait a minute now. You might have lived a crazy life, but I was totally insane. Now, come on, don't even go there. You live a big crazy life. You're talking to a guy that people threw packets of cocaine to up on stage while they're playing at the Agora Ballroom. I mean, I was a mental drug head and alcoholic, and
we've all been there.
I was crazy. I mean, there were I got to tell you though, for being as insane as I was very particular on things as far as drugs go. Like, I wouldn't try anything that someone put in front of me. I had my things that I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was either I was drinking some Jack Daniels and a couple beers and doing cocaine. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
I never did, as far as I know, I never snorted heroin.
Okay,
I mean, if someone could have put it there in place of coke, I probably wouldn't have known. I would have been so high. But, I never did that. I wasn't a pill popper. I never did acid. I never,
Well, I was a little Mikey, put it that way, in the 80s and 90s. Here, try this. And yes, I was the one that did it, and they said, "Oh, you weren't supposed to do all of that at once." So, we didn't know. Oh, you're only supposed to do one.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. I didn't do that. I never, like I said, I never did. I never tripped. I never did any mushrooms, any of that stuff. I pretty much had. I'm one of these people. I don't know if you could tell just by talking to me. I'm one of these people who like to be up.
Yeah.
I'm an up person.
Oh, yeah,
sure. You could take all your down drugs and throw them, give them to somebody else, man. I'm one of these people. I'm on 10 all the time, and that's what I like to do. I mean, that's why I drink a case of Diet Mountain Dew every day, and 50,000 Red Bulls, and anything that'll put me through the wall, put me through the ceiling. That's what I like, But no, it's just of course, all that contributes to my cancer thing too. So I don't know what the hell I'm so happy about. So I mean, you got to get this stuff done, Bruce.
Yeah. Well,
you got me on the radio here with you now. So now, you're going to get sick on me. You're not going to be able to do a radio show.
Trust me, bro. My girl's an RN, so
I
get it every day. You got to go get this checked out. I got some problems with my legs. I had a bad motorcycle accident in the '90s, late '90s, and it's kicking me right now. So I'm walking like a 70-year-old right now. But yeah, I'm just one of
Are you using a cane? You walk with a cane or anything?
No, not yet. No, but I do have the orthopedic socks on right now. My girl got me with the copper in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. To help.
Okay.
Yeah. Montel Williams sponsored them, and okay, let's try these out. So yeah,
What did you take? You took a spill on your bike?
I was 6 months traction back in '99. Shattered my femur and compound fracture in my other knee. So, yeah, I was pretty messed up. But
Oh
anyways,
man.
yeah. So I get it from her. Yeah, you got to go to the doctor. And I'm old school Italian, and what you don't know won't kill you. That's that's the way I was brought up. My dad,
Well,
same way.
listen.
He's bad.
Even though my last name is Bell, I am full-blooded Italian.
Yep.
Bell was shortened. I think my real last name was Bella or Belli or something like that, but I believe it was Bella. And my grandfather shortened it when they came over from Italy. It got short. So, I'm full-blooded Italian too. So if you talk about stubborn, I know what you mean. I mean, I'm the last person that wants to go into to the doctor. I mean, look, there's no, what guy wants to go to the doctor and get a finger shoved up his ass anyway? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like the best thing in the world, but I mean, this is the shit that you got to do. You got to deal with this.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna have to get there soon. My girl's on top of me, definitely. So, but I'll tell you what, C. Everett Koop would be so proud of us right now because we're doing our great civil awareness on prostate cancer. And guess what? We might get a award for this because I think he listens in, man.
I'm counting on it.
Okay.
So what do we got lined up? Tell me,
Okay.
what are we playing today, my brother?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. We started off with.
I've got some good stories I forgot to tell you about too, man. I got. Oh my God, the Ozzy story.
We're gonna go into that, but first of all, we started off with the Wild Side. I picked that out. I didn't ask you what song to play today.
Now it's so funny.
Huh?
I was talking to you yesterday, like I said, on the way home, just telling you I was going to be at the doctor and stuff, and Joey Aparo, the drummer from Joint Forces, happened to call in, and he was saying, "Yeah, I'd like to put Wild Side back in the set for this. He's turning 50 in June, and so we're actually playing the night of his birthday in Manchester, Connecticut, at All Stars on his 50th birthday, which is just amazing that it timed perfectly like that.
Yep.
And he wants to put that song back in the set, and we haven't played that since since the band was together, '92. We never did it any reunion shows. It's kind of so we're actually gonna pull that one out again.
Yeah, well, that's beautiful because I played it on the intro right before you got online, and so I thought that was pretty cool. I got a good ear, dude, and
yes, you got two good ones.
Yeah, I got two good ones. Talking about the All Stars, we'll go into the Ozzy story, which is great. But hey, I'm a big time networker, and online I did see a video of you along with Diamondback playing a song, "Shoot to Thrill."
Shoot to Thrill, yeah. Well,
okay, well,
Diamondback, we're a really good cover band. I enjoy playing with those guys, and it's so funny because this Diamondback's the only band. I think it's one of the only bands, with the exception of the first band I was ever in when I was 16. Diamondback's the only other band that I've worked with that has a second guitar player in it.
Yes,
and the guitar player that plays in Diamondback with me, Pawlowski, it's such a thrill to play with him because we are two totally different styles of guitar playing, and that is like one of the main reasons it works so well. If you have two guitar players that play like me, two shred guys, it gets to be real monotonous and just boring and stuff, But Paul is more of a blues guy, plays, Paul's got some quick chops too, don't get me wrong. But he's more definitely blues orientated. Diamondback was a southern rock band.
Sure, I remember.
Judging by the name, obviously they were around for 20 some odd years.
Sure, they
were a southern rock band before I even joined them.
Yeah.
So when I joined them, though, they I'd gotten rid of their guitar player at the time, and they came in, and I said, "Well, look, guys," I said, "I got to be honest. I'm not the biggest fan of southern rock." I said, "I love southern rock, but it's not my forte. I don't. I wouldn't do it justice, you know. And they go, no, whatever you want to do. So I said, we got to do like, you know, classic rock. You know, I want to play AC/DC. You know, if we're going to do covers, let's do Motley Crue, Guns N' Roses. You know, all you know, stuff that Van Halen. You know, all the stuff that I just love playing, and you know, and that's what we do in that band. It's really cool.
Well, I'll tell you what I did. I'm a big networker, dude, and that's all I do all day is on that freaking computer networking. Well, I sent a video to AC/DC people, and I got a response back, and they said they were very impressed with your guitar work, but they had one question, or two questions actually.
What's that?
Would you be willing to wear the schoolboy outfit and and can you spin on your back and keep the lead solo going? And I'll have to get back with you on that one.
Check this out. Now you're gonna die. Now this is even better. Now check this out. There is a band. I don't know if you remember them, but they were around back when you were here. Band Back in Black.
Sure.
They're an AC/DC tribute band. They've been around for years, and they're great, and they're all really good friends of mine. Now, I've known them for so long, and they've had some problems, you know, keeping their guitar players. Like one of the guys, a really good friend of mine. He had his issues like all of us, except he was a little bit more extreme. You know, more of an alcoholic, more into drugs and everything. So he was in the band for the longest time, and they had let him go. And so they were grabbing guitar players from other AC/DC tribute bands in the surrounding states, you know, when they had gigs and stuff. And so they know that I'm a huge AC/DC fan, and so they said to me, would you play guitar just so we could play some gigs? And they said, and I said, I will, but you know I can't put on the little suit. Stuff like that. And they said, no problem. In fact, what they do, see, I know how to play the rhythms of AC/DC really good, and then I embellish on the leads. Like, I'll play, like you only saw Shoot the Thrill, but I normally, I'll play, a lot of the main parts and songs. Like, if there's main things that you have to catch. Like I said, I told you this before, right? It's like, there's things I very rarely will ever do a solo that's on a record. Yeah. Unless I absolutely, like I said, Highway Star is the only thing that I do note for note from Deep Purple.
Yeah.
Very rarely, but you have to catch main things, or else it'll be real obvious that you don't know what you're doing. So it's like, there's certain solos that I will try to get as close as I can on certain things, or you take the key elements, just so the listener, the normal person in the audience won't miss it. A lot of people that aren't musicians that just go to clubs and stuff, they pick up on, they hear things because they're used to hearing. So if you don't play a certain melody that's a key part of the solo, they're going to miss that. They're not going to care about the rest of the solo because they don't understand what that is anyway. But if you mess up on a key riff that's going on in a solo, kind of like if you were to play, I can't even use Over the Mountain by Randy Rhoads by Ozzy as an example, because that's a solo you have to play exactly note for note. That's another one I do note for note. Okay. You got to do that. You'd sound like an idiot. Pretty much certain things you got to do, but anything that's a little bit drawn out, you could go off on your own tangents a little bit and your own thing. One of the examples that I'm saying is like the end of when we do Paradise City from Guns N' Roses. I don't do any of what Slash does at the end of Paradise City when he's taking off. I go and do my own thing at the end. But that's just riffing anyway. There's no signature solo things going on in that part of the solo, at the very end of the song. So you can just take off and do what you want. But, people will miss it. So, the AC/DC band, they actually hired me and I went and did all kinds of shows with them, and never had to put the suit on. Like they let me just do my own type solos, and I didn't have to do anything. Trust me, if I can't do that little Chuck Berry bounce, that little thing, the bouncing that Angus does.
Yeah.
But if I could do that, I would do that because I absolutely love that goddamn thing.
Yeah,
I think my feet are too flat or something to it. I can't figure it out. I've had so many of the AC/DC guys show me that too, like the guitar players. I go, show me that little hop that Angus does, and they all know how to do it. I just can't get the goddamn thing going.
Yeah, well, that's the only problem. We got to get you to work on that. And guess what? When Angus can't make it to a show, guess what? You're going to be the first one they call. I'll work on that for you, man. We'll get that hooked up for you. One other thing, I did checking out your website, jimmybell.net, and a great picture there with you and Zach Wild. And did he actually give you got that coat? You got that coat with the label on the back still?
Oh, with Zach?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Zach gave me I have a real official
cool.
Black Label vest. It's so weird with me and Zach. It's like I'm really, really good friends with him. I'm not friends enough where I have his phone number and call him. Like I'm one of these people that will, like, if he's in town, I'll get word to him that I'm coming in, and he's real excited.
Yeah, cool.
But I actually, Zach was doing a signing. He was when Daddy's Junkie Music had their shops. Which just shut down recently. But they had a chain of stores, and Zach was in there just doing a signing one time. Zach hadn't seen me in years, and he knew I did something. Like, someone had told him recently I did something with Metal Church, and that was we're talking years ago now that I hadn't seen Zach, and so I actually went to see him at the music store. I waited in line, with all the rest of the people, and I got to the end, and Zach had a few beers in him by then, and he goes, so I'm standing in front of him. I go, "Hey, how's it doing?" And I said my name to him. I go, "Hey, I'm Jimmy Bell," but he didn't quite hear me. He didn't hear me say it. And then I said, "So what have you been doing?" He goes, "Well, I was just, the Black Label thing, and just doing the whole thing." And then I said to him, I said, "Yeah." I said, he didn't seem like, when I said his name, I didn't realize he didn't hear me. So I thought he just didn't care that I was there. And so I just said, "Well, I've been doing this, I did this Metal Church run and stuff." And he stopped for a second, and then he looked up and he put his finger in the air. He goes, "Jimmy?" And I go, "Yeah." I said, "I told you my name, Jimmy Bell." He stood up and went mental. He went mental and punched me. You know how big this guy is?
Yeah.
He punched me in the chest 3 times. He caved in my chest. This is how hard he hit me. He was so happy. He goes, "Come on, hit me. Come on." Like he's trying to get me to like, I go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to whack this guy, this friggin' behemoth." It's like, and then he's got his Zach crew there, his Black Label goons and stuff. He goes, "This dude's one of the best guitar players. You keep him over there. I want to talk with him." It's like, so all of a sudden when he realized that who I was, he was like going nuts.
Cool.
So I try to get together with him, every time he comes into town. And when he was on one of the Ozfest, I was, just hanging on the bus with him and stuff. And he's one of those guys, I'll just say, "Hey, I love that vest."
Cool.
He goes, "Here you go, brother." He's got him all in the back of the he's got him in the back there. He gave me one all patched.
That
it's
is
very
too cool,
to have one of those. You got to be part of his crew to actually have a real vest from him. Yeah. So it's I take good care. I've gotten offered all kinds of money for it.
I'm sure
I would never sell it.
Yeah, that's special. That's a memento there. That's too cool.
Yeah, he's a great dude, man. He's just really cool. I always, he's one of those guys. I always say, "Hey, Zach, if you hear of anything, let me know. Let me know." I have to give him 1,000 cards. He'll never do nothing.
All right.
I've already come to that conclusion. He's not going to help me. He's too busy helping himself. He's doing great though. He's a friggin'. that whole thing, it's like everybody says, so what would your life have been if you were with Ozzy? If that happened, it's like,
I'd be Zach
I don't
Wild.
know, dude. I'm really wondering, Bruce, I might have been dead. When I think
so?
about it.
Hanging with Ozzy? Sure.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. See, Zach was always just an alcoholic. Zach was just a beer drinker. He was never much of a drug user at all. I don't even know if he ever did really care about drugs. Maybe a joint or something like that. But me, I mean, when I was auditioning for Ozzy, that was my prime coke days. I mean, my prime coke days. So maybe the powers that be knew that I would have, I probably would have OD'd if I had that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? You're in Ozzy's band, you're living the life. You're living the life. All of a sudden you're a rock star or whatever. You're hanging out with all these other famous people. You hear it all the time. It's not an uncommon thing that somebody ODs and stuff like that and everything. Look, we just lost the guitar player of Slayer from what? That could have been a spider bite or something. Is that what I just read? That one of the guitar players at Slayer? I just couldn't even believe that from a complication from a spider bite. I mean, people are dropping like crazy for weirdest things. It's terrible.
All right, let me ask you this question. I'm going to be. I'll hit you with the tough questions. Back in your day, it's a great thing that you're clean and sober nowadays. But do you think, your guitar playing when you're in that zone, all coked up? Were you a better guitar player then, or are you a better guitar player now, being straight and sober?
Well, I'm one of these people that, I don't really believe, I didn't, let's put it this way, I didn't believe that it affected me as much because, here's the deal, because the amount of time that I actually practice is huge. And I've always, regardless if I was, let me tell you something, I would wake up sometimes from gigs and had to do a second gig the night, and I'd wake up totally hungover where I couldn't move, but I would still play that guitar because I knew I had a show to do that night, and I would play, and even as feeling like shit, I would do whatever I had to do to give the best performance I can. So I played so much that I'm not sure if it affected me so bad, although I did hear, like, the last few years of my life here, like my recent, as far as we're talking, like 3 to 4 years ago, that recent alcohol binge that I was on, people were saying, my close friends were saying to me, Jimmy, you're not as clean as you were. You're screwing up. You're still playing really good, but I've heard you play. So it was starting to get in the way. I don't think back then it got in the way as much, but the alcohol seemed to affect me worse than the coke did. That's what I'm saying. In other words, because alcohol makes you drunk and sloppy. You're sloppy. You can't drive. You can't walk. You can't do nothing. So what makes you think you can play guitar?
Gotcha.
One of those things. I think that has a lot to do with it.
All right, we're gonna let's go. We got 23 minutes left. Yeah, we got a new show on after 12 o'clock after my show, our show, PhD Radio Show. So I used to run late, no problem, but we got an upcoming show right behind us. So I want to get this video, man. I watched it again this morning. I've seen it 2 or 3 times, and let me get your take on it. Someday When, House of Lords.
Someday When. Yeah, it's very cool, man. Perfect example. Well, James, the singer, James Christian, he kept it a secret for a while that he had prostate cancer, and he went through the same operation I did, and he had just gotten his prostate out. James, had gotten heavier in his later days in his life and stuff, and James had just gotten his prostate out then, and was recovering. I mean, literally, he got it out, I believe, 2 weeks after 2 weeks prior to shooting this video. We were on a time thing. So the poor guy had to lay down in the back area while in between takes and stuff like that. I mean, literally, he was exhausted. I mean, when you first get it out, you're very, very tired and stuff. But I'm telling you right now, James, it doesn't even look anything like what he is in that video. He is as thin as he was in the original House of Lords. Now, he maybe even skinny. The guy has lost so much weight. He takes really great care of himself, and I can't wait to go on tour to Europe again, or get back out on tour with him so everybody could see him, because that's where some of the people were making rude comments. Oh, he's gained weight. So what? The guy's got a big, amazing voice. Who cares if he gained a little bit of weight? But he looks absolutely phenomenal. And I'm really looking forward to getting back out there. It's just so that people could see him, that he's really doing well. But Someday When's great song. I didn't write this song. It was written by Tommy Denander, and it's a really good track. And I really enjoyed playing it.
Bruce just ran off to the restroom and kind of left you here with me. So let's.
Bruce left?
No, he had to run off to the bathroom. So I'm gonna cue up this song. Let's get rolling with "Someday When" by House of Lords.
Oh, okay. I think that's funny that Bruce went to the bathroom. He knows I talk so much that he figures he had time to go and come back. I think that's hysterical.
Yeah. So well. All right, well, I'm going to roll into this song.
Awesome.
And let's get going.
Do you ever
House of Lords.
I
Someday
didn't even know
when.
you left the room.
You know what? Hey, this is live, man. This is rock and roll, dude. I just hoping. I say, hey, man, he'll keep talking for a minute or two, and then of course
Hey, listen, listen.
I
Hey,
get.
Bruce, I bring a bucket into my room. Hey, you don't have to leave your room.
Yeah, but then again, I run into the bathroom, and guess what? Somebody else was in there, so I had to wait. So that's hey, this is live, man. This is how it works, bro.
That's
Um,
right, brother.
I love that. Okay, let me ask you. Let's get to this video. Someday when. Where was the footage shot? Is that in United States and just a great area that
Yeah,
looks like
actually, it is.
in? Yep.
There's a that is a mansion slash museum now in Norwalk, Connecticut.
Get out of here! I thought it was up in
yeah.
New York somewhere. Yep.
Yeah, and it's a they had to really, they had a lot of restrictions in shooting a video in there, because it is a museum. It's so you couldn't, you can't touch this, don't do that, It's like what, for them to even let us shoot in there. I mean, obviously, I think they took a look at us and saw that we weren't like like an insane bunch, that we were kind of a little bit more, I don't know if they'd let some kids shoot a thrash metal video or something, they'd be jumping on all the
Guns N' Roses or somebody.
Yeah. Somewhere they know that they would trash the place and then have to pay for it, or because they have the money to pay for it, But it's so there were certain rooms we couldn't go in, certain this, but we only wanted the main area actually for that. Now the person who shot that video, Jeff Canada,
sure, yeah.
He has his own. He's also a Frontier artist. He's on Frontier Records himself, and he's got a new record coming out. I've been on a bunch of his records, and I'm going to be in his new video. They're actually shooting a video for the title track, and
cool.
That is being shot on June 26th.
Cool.
So I'm not. Actually, that's one day I won't. It's on a Wednesday. That's one day I won't be able to do the show.
Okay.
Yeah. No so I'll have to make a point about that. But June 26th is the date, and it's going to be an all day thing. So I had to tell the people from the Cancer Center too. Say, look, I'm. That's one day I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to be able to come in on this day because it literally when you're shooting videos and stuff, like when I did the Michael J. Fox thing,
sure, Light of Day, and
Joan Jett movie there, we were at makeup at 4 a.m. I guess we were at the trailers and they were putting on all the, doing our hair up, putting on all the makeup, and getting us all together what we were gonna be all about. So you're 4 or 5 in the morning, these people are getting started to get ready for a 7 o'clock shoot. So that's how early all this stuff goes on. The makeup thing is a long time, it's a long process. I didn't realize, we weren't even, I can't even imagine like people that are doing these movies that have like these wild, what they do for, Iron Man or Superman, any of these other movies or anything that's got, where people are in these wild outfits and stuff, how much makeup time there is in that thing. But yeah, so you got to get on the set early because it's not just a matter of filming a band and going, okay, that's it, we're done. There's all like each camera angle is a separate thing. Like so, they might run the music and they might just put the camera on me for like the entire song, and they'll take certain clips of that. Or they'll do a clip of whoever. Then they want clips from above, clips from they got it's a big ordeal. So I'm looking forward to that. But that's one of those days. I told him, I said, look, I'm going to be tied up the whole day. So that's it.
And we'll get to
it. It was in Norwalk, and it it was cool, really cool place, Bruce. If you right off the highway too.
Come
Like,
on, yeah, I know every
some
road
historical
through
building or
Norwalk.
something.
But you did have I'm telling you, you had a limo out of New York because I saw the plates on it.
It was a New York. Yeah, it was a New York
See,
company that came and.
I'm very
Was that
observant,
out of New
dude.
York?
Yes.
It was so funny.
Yeah,
Yes, the girl,
that's what
at the beginning of that, the girl that comes and opens
Sure,
the
the
limo
blonde.
door.
Yeah, the blonde, short hair.
The blonde?
Yep.
Well, I don't know what the concept of the silver mask are. There's something to do. Like I said, I don't know about the lyrics and stuff. I don't know anything about that stuff too well. But there's something to do that mask has something to do with it somehow. We were all kind of shocked when we got to the place and we were told we were going to wear this silver mask for certain parts of the video. We're going like, what? What? Really? But the girl was it's too bad because she's extremely beautiful. The girl that was opening the door,
sure.
And it was too bad that she had to put a mask over her face.
And I assume the one at the end of the video also that's dancing around.
That's James's wife.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad I'm sure she was very beautiful. Is what I was about to
Robin
say.
Beck. She makes appearances throughout the video.
Sure.
In fact, that you see her at the top of the stairs
Sure.
and stuff.
I could just imagine. She got us.
That's James's wife. And matter of fact, she's a singer.
Cool. Actually, I'm friends with her. I'm a friend with her on Facebook. So yeah, definitely see her posts. That's too cool.
Yeah, she got her start doing a Coca-Cola commercial years ago.
Cool.
She became really famous in Europe just by singing on a Coke commercial, and then she, had a good solo career over there and stuff. Pretty cool.
Cool. All right, we got about 6 minutes left, and I got to roll into your last song. We're going with Max Explosion out of here, but let's bring up. Yes, I got it. Can we do it in about 5 minutes? I want to hear about this babysitting excursion you had with a certain famous couples.
Oh, with Ozzy. Yeah. Okay. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah. Let's go there.
Well,
yeah, because we said we're going to talk about it. You know how we do it. We just keep rambling. We keep rolling on whatever comes up. We talk about. But I wanted to get this.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal.
Okay.
All right. So I'm playing with Geezer Butler over in England. So Geezer has two boys, Biff and James. His kids are, and they were real young at the time. So Geezer says to me, he goes, let's Gloria Butler, Geezer's wife, was babysitting two of Ozzy's kids, Amy, and I believe it was Kelly. And Kelly was literally just a baby, real little kid. And so Geezer says, let's go to Warwick Castle. I want to show you this castle. It's this castle over in England where they have. It looks like there's humans that are stuffed, but it looks like they're alive, but they're actually like just mannequins or so. I don't know what but they look so real. The castle's a vintage castle. It's totally authentic. The whole works. So they decide that we're going to bring the youngest, Ozzy's oldest daughter, Amy, on the trip with us. So we're going like, okay, let's do this. I'll watch Ozzy's oldest daughter. Now, that's the girl that didn't have anything to do with the Osbourne show. She wouldn't be in it. So we go to the castle and we're walking around this and that. I'm kind of minding Ozzy's daughter. Kind of keeping an eye on her. So we go up to this lookout tower. Now, this is one of these towers, a very authentic old tower, spiral staircase all the way up to the, this is where they looked out to see if the castle was being attacked or something, where the guards would be. So me and Geezer, we're hanging out there, not paying attention. We're looking around this and that. All of a sudden, it gets dark, and we're going like, okay, well, we might as well. It's starting to get dark out. So we said we better get down to the bottom. So we start to make our way down the staircase and realize that this is really an authentic spiral staircase, and there's no lights, no nothing. You can't even see the stairs below you, and we're all the way at the top of this staircase. So I pick up Ozzy's daughter. Now, I've got this girl in my hand, and I've got my back pinned against this wall, going down step by step by step, walking down this this spiral staircase, and we can't see nothing. He's just trying to light a lighter and everything. And I'm going like, oh my God, please don't let me fall with Ozzy's daughter in my hand. Please, God. I think I was totally like losing my mind. Can you imagine? Here's this guy, like holding on to this major megastar's daughter.
Yeah.
And I tried to get her down the staircase. I mean, she was crying because it was dark, and she was scared. And I'm going like, oh my God. So I needless to say, we made it to the bottom of the staircase. But it was just funny. I was literally praying that I wouldn't drop Ozzy's daughter. 'Cause, I mean, that could have been like a big talk about a bad career move right there. That could have ruined me forever.
Dude,
that bit my head off or something.
This is why we call you the professor, man, because there's
Oh,
how
I
many
gotta bury
people
heaven.
in the world could actually tell that story.
I
That's
know,
too
it's just
cool.
very funny.
You
Hey, man, I had a great time on the show today. Thanks.
No,
It was
come on,
really
man.
awesome.
Every time. I hope we both have I have a great time, man. It just, yep. We'll repeat it next Wednesday, same bat
Yes, we will, my brother.
time, same bat channel, and we're gonna roll out with Max Explosion, End of the Line. We'll talk a little bit more about that next week, and then. Six House, and then Break Wall. We got a lot to talk about still coming
Yeah,
up.
I know. I know she's out jogging naked right now, so I want to do a big shout out to her because I know she's out there.
Okay.
She listens on her. That's the only thing she wears. She has these little earplugs. She jogs around Woodbury, Connecticut naked, but she has the little headphones in her ears. So I guess she's actually wearing something.
Hey, you're gonna be able to get us an MP3 or two to play, right?
Oh, I'm going to follow her. I'm getting a whole camera crew to follow her. Jogging naked.
No. The music. Hey, I want the music.
Oh, no, I want the video. Send the video. That's going to be more fun.
All right, Professor.
My brother. I'll see you soon.
All right, and we're going out with End of the Line, Max Explosion. Class dismissed.
You got it, brother. See you next week.
All right, buddy.
Bye.